Good morning, everybody. It is a chilly Friday morning here in Chicago. About 32 degrees, temperature's dropping. We've got a stiff wind, so I'm going to do a long warm up into the headwind. And then on the turnaround, we'll hit some mild repeats. 12.99 miles, 7 minutes, 58 seconds per mile on average for the entire run, which included a little bit more than 4 miles for the warm up and then 6 times 6 minute repetitions with 1 minute rest. The on portions or the work phases were supposed to be at threshold effort, and then the rest recoveries were going to be 1 minute at should be a jog, but at this point in my build-up, I'm really more just walking all those recoveries. A lot of the times I wasn't. I'm really just trying to catch my breath. But this is a workout that is a staple kind of in like my marathon diet for getting ready for a race. I've got, at least as of the time of filming of that workout, it was about 7 weeks from the Tokyo Marathon. If it's going to happen, who knows? Right now, it doesn't look great, but I'll have a little bit more clarity in a couple weeks. But until then, I got to go ahead and start getting ready and assume that it is going to happen because, I don't want to then be in a situation where I get to go to Tokyo and finally race that marathon and not be in as good a shape as I can be. So today I'm going with this mile repeats workout, and I usually call it a mile repeats workout because the workout is 6 minutes long at threshold. And the place that I got this workout from, it's Jack Daniels, and he thinks that people that are doing about 70 miles per week of running like I am should be able to complete a mile interval repeat in about 5 to 6 minutes. I can't. I'm a little bit shy of that. So I could either extend the recoveries or just shorten the distance. So I just shorten the distance and make sure I'm in that 6 minute range. I've been getting pretty good at this workout, although this is a little bit of a rust buster, but overall I just came off of a training block getting ready for the California International Marathon in December. So it's kind of like a continuation of marathon training and also kind of like getting back into marathon fitness all rolled into one kind of painful day. And it definitely was one of those days where I feel like the legs kind of have it. The legs are there, but mentally I'm having a hard time really like focusing in on getting to that uncomfortable spot and really just staying there and being able to constantly like kind of press on that throttle, even though like all other signals from your body are telling you to slow down and to stop. So that was like the main focus for me for this workout mentally. Now let's take a look at my computer and some of the stuff that's been going on in terms of the data. The first thing that I see is kind of like the summary stats. I got 12.99 miles, 150 beats per minute on average for the heart rate, and 758 minutes per mile. But if we take a look a little bit more closely at the workout and the chart, you could see whether you're looking at the heart rate, pace, power, cadence, you're all kind of seeing the same thing where you could see the very long warm up, and it looks like the warm up was 4.38 miles. Basically, I ran like from my house all the way to the north end of the Chicago Lakefront Trail. There's a little turnaround there, and then once I turned it around, that's when I started it. It's looking relatively consistent, at least from this graph, but I can take a closer look at the data down below where I can get a look at how much time or the length of time each phase was. What kind of intensities I had prescribed for it in terms of when I set up the workout on the watch. And then it tells you like how long I ran, what my average heart rate was for like running that threshold mile, and then how much power I was able to achieve during that time as well as like the pace. And then there's a lot of data here, and you kind of have to like scroll left and right to get to it all. So I did put a little summary together for the Strava post that I had, and that's going to be probably the easiest way for me to look at it all at once as a summary instead of looking at the individual graphs. But I think that'll make a little bit more sense for us. So today, I had the 6 miles or the 6-minute intervals, and for the first time ever, I actually was able to run a mile in 6 minutes during this type of workout, and it was on the last rep. I definitely was running harder than threshold pace. 6-minute miles are about a little bit faster than my 5K pace, so I was definitely hurting at the end there. I was digging deep for that one. Definitely chalk one up for some of the mental toughness there. And the paces that I'm hitting though, even for the other ones, were all, I feel like, pretty consistent and relatively controlled. So I was hitting like 0.96 miles or 0.97 miles for most of them, running in between 6:09 to 6:15 per mile. So I feel like that is, I've not been able to run a chip time 10K at that pace. So the feeling that I'm able to do these kinds of repetitions at what feels like threshold pace, I feel like is something that I'm pretty proud of. It probably also means that I should probably try to hop into a 10K race and see if I can update that 10K PR officially. But in the meantime, as I'm getting ready for Tokyo, I'm feeling really good about these numbers. My critical power, according to Stride, and that's where Stride thinks that your threshold should be, I feel like right now is a little high. It has my critical power at 296. So hitting 292 to 290 for most of these, I feel like from an effort perspective, it feels right. From the number perspective, it's lower than what Stride is telling me my critical power, my threshold power should be, but it all kind of lines up well. And then if we're also looking at the heart rate, which we can go back and look at polar flow for a closer look at the heart rate, I feel like that all kind of fits in the right area too. So like towards the end of these threshold intervals, my heart rate is, just under 170 or right at 170. And I feel like for me, that's right around where I think my threshold heart rate is. And of course, for the 6th one, I was pretty much going all out. So definitely hit closer to my maximum heart rate, which I think is closer to like 180. It's somewhere around there, but I was at 178 at a peak. So like definitely a little bit harder than threshold for that last repetition, but I feel like everything's lining up well. I feel like I'm running this workout the way it's supposed to be run, except for that 6th rep, which I probably shouldn't have done that. But for the other reps, I feel like I ran the workout exactly as I wanted to do it in terms of how I wrote it up. And I think I'm hopefully going to get the benefit of a lot of time at threshold effort, which I think is, for me, a very effective way for me to get ready for a marathon, because not only does it kind of work me in a workout kind of way that I feel like makes me stronger for the marathon, but also puts me in that mental space of like, how do I keep pushing and like putting my foot on the gas, even though I'm starting to feel tired, and those really brutally short rest periods also, I think, kind of help with not only the toughness, but also with the fitness in terms of not letting my heart rate kind of recover too much. Now, I do think, as much as I felt like, I'm early, relatively speaking, in this marathon training block, and I was walking the recoveries, I'm thinking maybe I'm at a point where I shouldn't be walking those recoveries. So I feel like my heart rate is recovering way kind of too well. It's getting down into like my low heart rate range. So I'm like fully recovering in that 1 minute. So I think that maybe I need to make sure that, I would like that heart rate to be still a little bit elevated before I start the next rep. That's the whole point of having those short recoveries, is that way you're not fully recovering. And so that's something I think I could work on going forward as I'm executing this workout, is don't completely stop and start walking in between the repetitions. Make sure I'm keeping it at a jog recovery rather than a full kind of like, I'm not stopping. I'm not like standing still. I'm walking, but like I think something between walking and jogging is where I need to be to really get the full benefit of this workout. Because the way I think of it is, if you're going to lace up your shoes, you're going to write the workout and you're going to try to do it, you might as well try to do the workout as planned and get 100% of the intended benefit. I think I'm getting a lot out of this. I'm certainly feeling a lot from this workout, but little tweaks that I can do. And I just wanted to kind of look at this. For those of you who've been following the channel, you've seen me kind of go over this kind of workout before, but and each time I do kind of look at the data from my workouts and I learn something new and tweak for each like subsequent time that I go out there. So hopefully this is helpful for some of you guys to kind of see, like, you know, how do people who have been doing workout plans for marathons for a little while now, do they still look at the data? Do they even need it anymore? I still like to have it. I still like to look at it after each big workout. So if you have any questions about how I'm looking at any of this stuff, please feel free to put them in the comments down below, or better yet, stop by the live stream that I do over on the Kofuzi Run Club live stream channel. I'll put a link to that in the description. You can always ask me anything you like over there. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for making it all the way to the end of the video. Hopefully you guys are staying safe out there on your runs, and I will see you in the next one.
Yo, what's going on?